It is only when we truly know and understand we have limited time on earth, and we have no way of knowing when our time is up, that we will begin to live each day to the fullest, as if it were the only one we have. "20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things that you didn't do than by the ones you did do. So throw off the bow lines, sail away from the safe harbor, catch the trade winds in your sails, explore, dream, discover. The purpose of life, after all, is to live it, to taste experience to the utmost, to reach out eagerly and without fear for a newer and richer experience. To those who stay put, the world is but an imaginary place. But to the movers, the makers, and the shakers, the world is all around, an endless invitation. So the only question left to ask yourself is, where should you go now?"
Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, beautiful. How you doing? Yeah, I called you beautiful. Welcome to a brand new installment of Yup Daily, and my name is Ali Madawi, Global Master Trainer of the Young Entrepreneur Project, where we help individuals start, grow, or scale a business. Plus, we help them to get paid by mentoring other individuals in the appropriate vertical that makes the most sense for them. Today, I'm going to talk to you about 3 C's that are stopping you from making money right now. These 3 elements, if you don't have, I guarantee you're not making any sales. Matter of fact, I can challenge you're not making any sales just by knowing if you are doing these 3 different items in here. So wherever you may be watching around the world, or wherever platform you may be watching from, make sure you say good morning or hello to me. Hey, Anthony from Netherlands, glad to have you here. Stina from Sweden, thank you for checking in. Tracy, what's up, Rockstar? Mary from England, glad to have you in here. Elizabeth Cousins from New Jersey. Hey, Mary Ann from Arizona. Make sure you smash that share button. Make sure that you tag the appropriate person who needs to generate a sale today. And also, you can share this in your own personal communities as well, as we're going to be giving a whole lot of goodies. Let's go after it. First things first. If you don't know anything about sales, if you don't like sales, or if you just cringe every time you hear the idea of sales, 2 things. 1, you shouldn't be in business. 2, you should get somebody else to do sales for you in order to stay in business, or you're just going to have to learn it. The reason I share this with you, sales is such a fundamental piece. If you are not generating sales, you have a very expensive hobby. So I highly recommend, and I ask of you to pretty please make sure that you have an honest conversation with yourself to generate sales today, because otherwise you're not in business. It's not fun when you're not making money in business, right? Unless you are in a nonprofit, that's a different story. Now, even with that, you still have to raise money. All right, well, let's get after it. So there are 3 different elements, or 3 C's, that I believe that they can generate sales for you today. And those 3, and I'm going to go over each one and the mindset behind them: certainty, clarity, and consistency. So certainty, clarity, and consistency. Now, whether you are a door knocker, whether you are a telemarketer, whether you're a network marketer, whether you are a sales rep, whether you are a sales executive, an account executive, whether you are a CSO, chief sales officer, anything that has to do with you acquiring clientele or building an organization where there's a monetary exchange, you must have these 3 elements in place. And let's go after the very first one: certainty. So think about, if someone is talking to you to try to get you to enroll into something or buy something, and you hear, well, so like, I think it will not generate a sale. You're going to feel that the person is not confident. You're going to feel that the person doesn't know what they're talking about, possibly lying to you. And that creates a sense of skepticism that even if you may see value in the product, the offer, the compensation, the presentation, the company, whatever it may be, you're genuinely are skeptical just from their delivery, where you're starting to think, maybe I should do a little bit of homework. Maybe I should do a little bit of analysis. Maybe I should do a little bit of due diligence, as most people say, right? So by doing so, you're delaying the sales process, which means for the individual that you are talking to, aka your prospect, if they hear lack of certainty from your voice, then or tonality or eye contact or body language, by default, it doesn't matter how great a product is. It doesn't matter how great your opportunity is. I guarantee you, I'll give you my word, the person is going to say, let me think about it. Let me get back to you. So certainty is such an important element. Here's an example. I was talking to Margaret Pastor, some of you may know her, a few days ago, and we were talking about these three elements. And when we talked, I asked her, well, tell me what we do. And she struggled. She used these specific words. Basically, and so, and I think, and the whole time I was like, you like certainty. I wouldn't join you. I wouldn't buy from you. I wouldn't do any business with you in a respectful way. But we were having a coaching session. So let me put it in a different example or a different light, like I did for her. I asked her, hey, Margaret, do you believe in God? She was like, absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, she was so certain, so strong, so passionate, so compassionate about her statement that I knew I didn't need to ask her any questions. I knew where she stood when it comes to her faith. You need to be as strong and as certain as that. Otherwise, the individual that you're talking to, I'm telling you, naturally, it's their brain that reacts to the way you're communicating with them. I'll give you, this is going to be scary. People who lack integrity may do what I'm going to show you right now, and they do it really, really well. This is why I call everybody out on network marketing and hype marketers all the time, because I study a lot of neurolinguistic programming. I study human activity and human brain. And some of the things that I learn is there are certain things that you can say that can trigger certain people, like almost as hypnosis. I'll give you an example. I'm going to say a few things right now that make no sense at all. Like I'm going to say the weirdest stuff ever. But I'm going to say it with a certain sense of certainty that you're going to feel, like even if you know what Ali's saying makes no sense, you're going to feel the certainty in my voice that you're going to be like, whoa, that was powerful. You ready? Here you go. I genuinely believe that your brain and lemons should come together. And if we do so, the neural programs that are happening right now as we speak across your community gives you the opportunity to raise the level of credibility, the influence that you need. And the microphone is not going to drop. I believe that the cameras that are looking at you right now are absolutely going to be right next to your feet. And that is why you're going to be successful. Why don't you join me? See, that was crazy, right? I said things that made no sense at all. But the delivery mechanism, the level of tonality, the body language, the eye contact, the way I leaned forward when I said certain things immediately created a sense of credibility and certainty from my voice to your brainwaves. And it hit you. Now, I told you beforehand what I was going to do, but there are practices that I've seen in the past where the trainer in NLP said nothing to no one. He just came out or she just came out and they started doing this exercise saying nothing at all, made no sense. And people would literally stand and give standing ovation. Like that was amazing. And then they say, okay, well, for the last 5-10 minutes that I was speaking, it was a test. I was showing you how I can manipulate your thinking wave. I can manipulate the way you operate your brain. Now, sooner or later, if you do it wrong, the person is going to catch up to you, right? That's why you get caught as a liar or you get a bad review eventually because they realize you did something deceiving, right? So make sure you have integrity. But what I'm showing you in here, the level of certainty in your voice is going to make an impact of the individual that he or she wants to do business with you. If they don't hear certainty in your voice, in your body language, they are not going to do business with you, at least not right away, because they feel like I need to be certain that what you're telling me is true, is accurate. If you don't have it, they're going to look for it. Or in so many cases, they get lost in the wilderness of the World Wide Web, and then they never actually do business with you. So number one, we got it. Drop the word certainty if you are on the same page with me. That was scary, wasn't it? Okay, let's go to number two. Number two is clarity. Clarity means that the information you're providing is extremely simple. Clarity means that it's visible. There is no hidden facts. I don't have to look for the terms and conditions. I don't have to fish for the gotchas, the I see what you're saying now, right? It is important for you to have clarity from the very beginning. Now, here's how I create clarity. Instead of me coming in and giving a 40-minute, 30-minute presentation and saying, you got money? Give me money. I don't do that. I ask the individual certain questions. Hey, so what are you looking to achieve today? If I were to provide everything that you were hoping for, what would that look like? What motivated you to have me even sit with you today? If we could do business together, what would be an appropriate budget that you see yourself spending? See, I get all this information beforehand, and then I write it down and I create my overview, my presentation, my offer around exactly what they wanted, which gives me clarity to the individual. Like, wow, yeah, that's exactly what I wanted. It's a clear decision in the mindset. What many individuals do, unfortunately, they just walk in. I used to do this in Kirby vacuums when I was 19 years old. I would just literally walk in and I would start cleaning the whole house. I'm like, I'm going to show you how this works, and I'm going to show you this, and I'm going to show you that. And I will just explain everything for an hour that I'm cleaning. And then I say, yeah, it's only $1,750. And they're like, 1,700 what? For a vacuum? You crazy? So what I did, or didn't do for that matter, is I just threw all information at them, and I hoped that they were going to want to spend money and buy. But what I learned now, had I known back then, is, so if you could have a vacuum, what would you want it to do? And how effective would you want it to be? And how much time would you want to do it? And how often do you want, like, get all that information and just create an actual presentation with that Kirby vacuum exactly on what they wanted, and ask them, what's the most you would spend? Got you. And if it could be your last vacuum for a lifetime, never ever have to buy another one, what would you then spend? See, get all this information, and then you can, by the way, I'm no longer involved with Kirby. That was when I was 19 and I did it for 3 months and I quit. That's a side note for you. Anyhow, so with that being said, the point being in here is that it is imperative, it is important that your prospect understand with clear view exactly what you are presenting, the information that supports the presentation, and then the offer that you have, so they can make an educated business decision. All right, that was clarity for you. Now let's go into the third C, consistency. So this is for individuals that have an audience. This is for those of us who are on social media, whether you are on Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, or wherever else you may be at. I'm grateful for you for giving me a little bit of your time. But are you consistent with your messaging from beginning to end? If you're going in and out, and every day you're talking about a different company, every day you're talking about a different product, every day you're talking about a different message, every day you're talking about a different side of you, you're going to confuse your audience member, and your prospect is going to say, you're not sold out on anything. You're just selling everything out of desperation, trying to make another commission today. And that's why a lot of people may join you at first because they saw one thing from you, and then they'll quit afterwards because, you're just going and turn and burn, and I'm just another number in your organization. So it's extremely important for you to be consistent with your core values. It's okay to have multiple streams of income. I'm not saying you shouldn't. But what I am saying is that you have to be consistent with your core values. Say what you mean and mean what you say. Document it. Don't be wishy-washy. Don't change just because what you actually wanted out of me is not there anymore. And it happens a lot in a social media digital space. A lot of us, and I'm including myself because I've made those mistakes in the past, we're like, pay me and then I'll give you. Okay, you paid me. Here's a little bit. I'm going to go and sell something else. And that lack of consistency is going to kill your credibility. This is why when you finally build enough courage to reach out to the right person is like, yeah, no, I'm not interested, because they've seen you do so many different things over the years and over the months and over the days. There are friends of mine that are literally promoting a different network marketing company every other post. Insurance and credit repair and crypto, like binary scammy stuff. I mean, I can go on and on and on, and they're just doing it all every single hour. And I'm like, man, like, that's like that cheesy guy that you remember, like he would open the jacket or the large, coat, and there's the cell phones in here, and there's the credit cards and DVDs in here, and it's like, what you need? You need a cell phone? Like that's how you look, if you ever do that. So be a professional, be a business owner, be an operator, be an executive. Again, Jeff Bezos has multiple streams of income. Elon Musk has multiple streams of income, but the mission, the message, their voice is consistent since they started their entrepreneurial journey that they're in right now. So again, if you are speaking with certainty, if you are speaking with clarity, and if you are speaking consistently, you will generate sales. If any of these three lack or they're not up to par, I'm telling you, you're not getting the sale. You're going to get skeptical individuals. You're going to waste a lot of times with the wrong people or the right people who are just not buying because your delivery is out of whack. So please, please, please make sure you work on these three elements. Let me know in the comment, what was the biggest aha that you've had, or what is the one piece that you got to work on the most? Is it certainty? Is it clarity? Or is it consistency? I know I got to work on them every single day because you always grow and you always learn. So I appreciate it and I thank you. Don't forget, we're going to be in Orlando in just about a little over 2 weeks, and our Yup convention, Time to Build, from September 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th at the World Center Marriott in Orlando, Florida. So go to yupconvention.com and cop your ticket today. I am so excited because I'm going to be training with some incredible, amazing individuals from across the globe. We may even have some surprise celebrity trainers as well. So I thank you and I appreciate you. And until next time, peace out, everybody.